Right, so welcome back. We're at the Nasrec Expo Center, and this is the venue for the 5th National Policy Conference of the ruling party, the African National Congress, and they'll be discussing very important policy issues. But in the couple of days before, they'll also be looking internally at their organization and seeing what are the challenges that they're facing and what can they fix. Renewal, I think, is the word that's coming out. And I suppose when you look at an organization and you look and see who's the chief executive officer, that would be the Secretary General. And in this case, we are now joined by Gwede Mantashe. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Morning, Pete.
So, busy 6 days ahead in terms of policy. What are your expectations, just as an opener?
We are expecting a candid and robust discussion among our people. At the end of the day, we should close the gaps between the extremes and have the body of the ANC that will take the ANC forward.
All right, so one of the things that you're going to be doing is looking internally for the next 2 days. Renewal is the word that keeps coming up. What are the challenges that you're facing, and what are you hoping that, and I've heard you say it, but do you think it will happen that you'll have a united ANC post this policy conference?
Renewal is about ensuring that the vehicle that we're going through, the African National Congress, is in good health. It fires with all the cylinders, and that's what we're going to be working on for 6 days. We'll talk to the issue of unity. It's very important. Because if we're not united, we're weaker. If we're united, we're quite strong. It's a bundle of sticks you can't break, but one by one you break them easily. That is the essence of us meeting here today. And if we can achieve unity, and unity of purpose, we'll be a better organization.
Is it possible to get that unity? I mean, it seems like there's some non-negotiables that are there. Some are saying the president must resign. Some are saying we should have had a consultative conference. Some are saying we're not going to come now. So at the first hurdle already, there's a split.
No. I don't think the issue of the president will arise here. It may be mentioned by one of you of those comrades who feel very strong about it, but it's not the essence of the policy conference. It is unfortunate that the veteran stalwarts and MK Council decided not to be part of here, but some of their members will be here in different capacities. We're hoping those who will be here will express the views and help in finding solutions for the African National Congress. It is the ANC that is important. It is not a particular grouping or another grouping. It is the ANC. We must all work together to ensure that the ANC becomes what it should be.
So the messages that are going out at the moment, and I asked Jeff Khadebe earlier on, you'll hear ANC Gauteng say there's no such thing as white monopoly capital. It's a ruse that's being used to distract us. And then you'll hear another leader say, no, we need to deal with monopoly capital. There's even debate around radical economic transformation, what that means. How do you bring all of these voices to say the one thing now?
That's why we have a policy conference, is to reconcile all those views. Actually, the debate about white monopoly capital versus monopoly capital as old as the ANC. I don't know if you remember, even in the run-up to Mangaung, that debate was very hot. In the run-up to Pulukwan, it was quite hot. And we settled for monopoly capital. And again, people are bringing that debate back because they feel very strong about it. But the most important thing is that whatever we do, we must not reposition the ANC as an anti-white movement. It has never been. It has been against white domination all the time. Big difference, not the same thing. Because if we become an anti-white organization, we become ordinary. If we are an anti-white domination movement, we are the ANC and keep its character. And therefore ours is not about vengeance. It is about correcting the injustices of the past.
Let's talk about the ANC itself, and I think some of the things that you will talk about will be the structure of the party. There's calls for expanding the NEC, there's calls for shrinking it. Is this something that's going to be discussed?
There is no argument for expanding it. We think it's just big. 80 members of the directly elected NEC members. It's quite a huge body. The argument is that can we shrink it back to what it was of 60? That debate is on the table. We'll talk about it. Because it is not the numbers, it is the ability of a structure to do what is expected to do. One of the issues we're dealing with now is non-availability of the main NEC members for deployment. That becomes an issue and we must address it.
Another thing that has come up from time to time is NEC members that are deployed in government, and when there's a lot of them, it becomes difficult to police oneself.
Now, the reality of the matter is that government is policed by society. That's why when there are difficulties and there's outcry from society, we must wake up and check and take note and try to address those issues. It's not self-monitoring and self-policing, because even if we're not in government, the ANC is the ANC. We should listen to the views of the people and therefore allow society to monitor and police us. And it's quite a difficult exercise because sometimes the sense of feeling that we are a strong, invincible organization, nobody can tell you, visit people from time to time. That is the weakness that we must visit. We must appreciate that one of the biggest struggles is the struggle against our own weakness.
All right, Secretary General of the ANC, we're going to carry on with this conversation, but I just need to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our conversation. Stay with us.